Okay, it's day 35 of the zombie apocalypse. You're hunkered down with all your gear, locked, loaded, just waiting for the zombies to arrive. And then it hits you.
Zombies aren't real.
Holy crap. What is going on? Everybody kept telling you about the zombie apocalypse. So, what the hell? Today, we're going to let you in on it. Now, if you already get it, please stop watching this video and go somewhere else. Here are some suggestions. For the rest of you, here's the deal.
It's a metaphor!
Now, for those of you who spent most of 9th grade English class getting stoned in the parking lot, Dictionary.com defines a metaphor as something used or regarded as being used to represent something else, an emblem, a symbol. And for those of you who are getting stoned in the parking lot right now,
well, my hands look awesome.
In this case, the zombie apocalypse is the metaphor representing whichever catastrophic doomsday event might bring about the end of the world as we know it. There are many different schools of thought on how this may occur, and here's a list of several popular scenarios in no particular order. Thermonuclear war, supervirus, supervolcano or earthquake, tsunami, giant asteroid, terrorist attack, economic collapse, biblical end times or a revelation, coronal mass ejection, government takeover or rise of the New World Order, alien invasion, polar shift, and of course, an outbreak of zombies. Which is really pretty silly, and ranked in order of how likely it is to occur, falls more or less on the bottom of that list, even below alien invasion. But if you are prepared for zombies who feel no pain and will keep coming even after you've blown most of their limbs off, then you're probably prepared for anything. And since it's important to keep a sense of humor, especially when the world is falling apart all around you, the zombie thing allows us to have a little bit of fun with all this stuff, while still being very serious about the job of being prepared. You've heard the phrase preppers, doomsday preppers, survivalists. It runs the gamut from those who simply store a little extra food and water in their pantry, to the guy currently camped out with 500,000 rounds of ammo in an underground concrete bunker with steel blast doors. But at its core, it's all the same idea. Being prepared in case shit hits the fan. Now, doomsday preppers should not be confused with doomsday prophets. Although, interestingly, a lot of these guys actually look like zombies. Doomsday prophets claim to have insight on precisely when, where, and why the world will end. To date, none of them have been right. And it often doesn't work out so well for those who follow them. At this point, I'm sure some of you are going to argue for the existence of actual zombies. One example being the Haitian zombies. These legends received mainstream attention in the 1980s through a book and film called The Serpent and the Rainbow, written by Harvard ethnobotanist Wade Davis. He claimed he had discovered a scientific explanation for the Haitian zombies through his personal research of a Haitian zombie powder. This drug allegedly contained a neurotoxin from the pufferfish, which is known to cause paralysis. And when combined with other drugs and some heavy social pressure, people thought they had actually died and been reanimated as zombies. While Davis's conclusions were very controversial, and the Haitian zombie drug is mostly unconfirmed legend, it should not be confused with a more recent zombie drug coming out of Russia and the eastern Ukraine. Known as crocodile, it's essentially a very chemically impure, home-cooked version of a drug called desomorphine, a highly potent morphine derivative invented in the US in the 1930s. Since recent success with slowing the flow of Afghan opium into Russia has caused heroin prices to go up, crocodile, easily manufactured from over-the-counter medications, is being billed as an inexpensive alternative. The only downside is that chronic use of the drug actually makes your flesh fall off. No. Really. No exaggeration, no bullshit. Your flesh actually rots away and falls off, so you end up looking like a zombie. Finally, a drug that meth heads can claim might actually be worse than theirs. Anyway, Both these supposed real-world zombie examples point pretty much in one direction.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
And ironically, while there isn't much hard evidence for non-make-believe zombies, some of the popular zombie fiction actually has valuable info. Most of the zombie survival guide would apply to any survival situation. I mean, mullets are bad, not just because they're stupid looking, but because anybody that was chasing you could grab it and bring you down, not just a zombie. And one other thought. A solid method of defense is super important. It forms the cornerstone of any well-rounded zombie apocalypse plan. But there is a lot more to surviving this thing than deciding between 223 or 308. Like, how are you going to feed your family? What about heat? What about fuel? What about medicine? A minor infection that could have easily been cleared up with simple antibiotics now becomes a major issue when the local pharmacy is gone. You need to be super solid in your armory, but also learn to think beyond your guns. Don't be one of those apocalypse clowns who come day 35 is lying in the forest next to his big-ass rifle dying of dysentery because he didn't know how to purify drinking water. And that's it. The zombie apocalypse is a metaphor, a symbol, for whatever catastrophic event may bring the end of the world as we know it. Will doomsday actually happen? Will it all come crashing down? Who knows? Some folks are convinced of it, but in any case, it's better to be prepared. So, have a sense of humor. Try to avoid the really crappy drugs. Keep in mind that using weapons in video games doesn't equate to having experience with the real thing. And be prepared to survive all aspects of the zombie apocalypse, even if, at least for the moment, zombies aren't real. And while we're on the subject, vampires aren't real either. And although it's been said before, it bears repeating. If vampires were real, they sure as hell wouldn't sparkle when the sunlight hits them.
You're beautiful.
Sunlight makes vampires explode. Everybody knows that.